Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to some news. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have all heard it. Aaron Rodgers is now a New York Jet. Green Bay now has the 13th overall pick, and the Jets have inherited the 15th overall pick. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to go over here. We can go over the conditions of the trade, but like I said, I'm sure you guys have all heard about it, and if you guys cared enough to actually listen through me talk about it, you guys actually looked it up or found the information you guys were looking for. So today we're dealing with strictly the draft picks. At number 13, I think same things still kind of stand. If Jackson Smith and Jigba's on the board, I'm very sure that he's in play for the Packers. Lucas Van Ness here, Miles Murphy could be, Broderick Jones and Darnell Wright could very well be here, or if one of those top tackles fall down here, because on roster you have Josh Nijman in one of those starting roles, and I'm not sure if you'd like that. And Bakhtiari isn't reliable anymore. As much as I hate to say, he's really not. At this pick, you're not really going to go with a Will Levis. I don't think that they'll shock the world or anything. Van Ness is a toolsy edge rusher. I think I'd rather have Miles Murphy. Different type of players, Van Ness and Murphy, and I think I'd rather have Murphy learning behind like Preston Smith or someone like that, especially if Nolan Smith is off the board. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, like I already mentioned, is well in play. I could even see why you'd put Joey Porter in play, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's your first option. But if somehow all the tackles, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and one of your favorite edge rushers, or two or three of your favorite edge rushers, are already up the board by 13, Joey Porter Jr. could be that alternative option. Tackle here, like I mentioned, if you like any, go ahead. You can have your fun with that. And then I'm actually curious, because I can't remember the exact conditions. I don't think we got any more picks this year. I'll look real quick, though. Okay, yeah, so we also get number 42 as well, so that's pretty good. Jets get the 15th and 170 overall. And then if Rodgers plays 60% of the Jets snaps in 2023, in other words, the Packers get an improved first-round pick in 2023, a second round pick in 2023, and a potential first round pick, and no less than, okay, why are they making it so stupid? Oh my god, that's so stupid. Conditional second round pick, where if he plays 65% of the snaps, it could become a first round. Why did they have to make, they're like, in other words, like they're going to try to make it more simple. The hell. So anyways, at this spot, say the draft plays out like, say, okay, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Joey Porter. I don't think that this hurts the Jets at all, whether or not they want to go tackle or not, but this is where everyone's had them mocked or anything like that. So if you like Broderick Jones or Darnell Wright, sure, go for it. But last mock draft I had Darnell Wright at that 15th pick. Darnell Wright, I think it's just better right away. There's a little bit more consistency and insurance with him. You could shoot for the stars with Broderick Jones, but maybe you got to ask Aaron Rodgers, the GM, about that one, because Aaron Rodgers, he's the final say in everything for these teams. And now I have selected just the Jets and the Packers, so it'll just be automatically generated up to these points. Tyree Wilson at 3, CJ. Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Lucas Van Ness at 8, Paris Johnson, Joey Porter, Peter Skoronski, Will Levis then falls off the board. Then here, if we're faced with this right here, I'd be more than happy to go with Nolan Smith at 13, even with Jackson Smith and Jigba still there. And then right here, same thing. You're looking at tackle. Broderick Jones just goes to pick before you. I think you could stick with Darnell Wright in other ways, though. Bryce Young's not staying on the board, by the way. This is just that it's not happening. I don't know if you want anything else or if you're invested in Miles Murphy, or if a player like Jalen Carter drops far enough. I know the Jets aren't scared to trade up, but for now, with the board that is played out into, our strengths, really. So Darnell Wright, it pretty much is even down to Darnell Wright, which we will go with. We'll move towards the second round, as the Jets actually had two back-to-back. They had 42 and 43. The Packers now own 42. So when we get there, we'll see what sort of players are available. Obviously, it's not exactly accurate, as Dalton Kincaid's probably going to fall to us, and Darnell Washington and Drew Sanders. So I wouldn't mind Okay, Cody Mock just actually went off the board because I was going to say I wouldn't mind the top 4 or 5 players here, but Dalton Kincaid's a good option. Darnell Washington's really good. I loved what Drew Sanders would bring. Jack Campbell would be quite fun. We went Nolan Smith the first time around, so I don't think there'd really be a reason to go Keon White here. Trent Simpson, if you're looking to bolster that offense, but if Dalton Kincaid falls to the spot, it's for sure very unlikely. I don't think he falls to 42 at all. Darnell Washington very much could, but I think he could go higher than people think as well. So you're looking at this point, probably maybe Darnell Washington, but plan on guys like Jack Campbell, Keon White, Simpson, Musgrave, Brents, Avila, all that good stuff, maybe to come in and play guard for you despite having an okay interior on your offensive line. For me at this spot, it would be one of these 2 tight ends if they were here. If tight ends aren't here, I wouldn't be half mad with Campbell or Sanders, even drafting Quay Walker last year. Devondre Campbell's getting a little bit older. You might need that third kind of rotational guy. Receiver's not really in play at this spot. Tight end obviously is. Offensive tackle, all of them are gone. Edge rushers, we already drafted one. I wouldn't be so mad about Tully at this spot. I really wouldn't. I'm not going to be psyched out if they get a guard or anyone interior other than Steve Avila or Cody Mock at this spot. Even if John Michael Schmitz is on the board here, I would not be mad at that at all. Cornerback, like I said, I don't think so. Maybe you want to go safety, but you have a pick in 3 picks as well, though. Other than that, it's pretty much that. So I'll just go Darnell Washington here for the realm of possibility. Jets then have the next pick. And I'll just go, this is another team that might need safety and linebacker. For me, I think that they are a little bit weak in some of those spots, but I mean, defensive interior right here wouldn't be horrible. Keanu Benton might fly up a board or 2. They might, trade down here. I'm not sure. There's a bunch that can play out, and I'm sure I'll do another mock draft before, Thursday, maybe Wednesday, do my final first round mock. And it would have this stuff in it other than the second round pick. So maybe addressing needs towards the top of the board as well. So at this spot, I mean, I'm opposed to that, but I don't know. It's really hard. If Kincaid's on the spot, of course, he's going to get taken here. But Drew Sanders I'll just go with for now, kind of just for the video's sake here. And then here, I would love to go Antonio Johnson. You lose Adrian Amos in free agency, I believe. I'll go check up on that. So yeah, right here, you're missing a strong safety pretty much. Tavarius Moore is not going to get it done. You have Stokes and Jair with Rasul Douglas back there. Rudy Ford even came in and played a bit last year. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure how much you want Yash Nijbin here. I mean, Zach Tom isn't half bad. Runyon's pretty good. Myers isn't the best. Elkton Jenkins and Bakhtiar are really good. Starting tight end, like I mentioned, I don't think that would be ideal if we start with Josiah DeGuara or someone else. Samori Toure at wide receiver 3 isn't exactly ideal. I really love the player. I really do. Nebraska wide receiver 7th round pick last year. Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, and then Jordan Love. So head back over here. Antonio Johnson doesn't look like a horrible pick here. I'm a big fan of him. I like the way that he plays. I think that he can add another star talent to this Green Bay defense, and that's exactly what we need. It's just presence of a star, and I don't think I'd go receiver here, so it really narrows down your options when you don't have any. If Jack Campbell's here, I don't think that you'd necessarily go with him. Keon White, mentioned we drafted edge earlier, sure, go ahead and get them all. It doesn't really matter. Josh Downs, I'm not thrilled about whatsoever at this spot, and so Antonio Johnson would be my pick at 45 for him, and I think that's it for both the teams. So yeah, good draft for both of them. I think that there are a lot of different ways that it could go depending on how the board is, just because of how far down their picks are. 13 and in the 40s, a lot can be different from draft to draft. You do this plenty of times, and it's going to play out differently every single time. So it's just hard to kind of realize what you're going to get here down at 42 and 45 even. You have no idea how the board's going to play out. So you obviously have your board. You're obviously going to stick to it. I think that you should trust it. Done not a superb job of drafting recently, but you've been a good team at drafting recently, so the Packers look like they're doing good. Jets overall winners of the trade too. They're not losing much. They still have a top 15 first round pick, and they lose one of their second round picks, which, I mean, it sucks to lose because that was quite fun going back to back for him, but is what it is. So that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you plenty, and especially if you watched all the way to now, make sure to consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.